At long last, Stellar Blade is finally available on PC, and like the PlayStation side of the universe, the PC players are losing their minds. Lo and behold, this game is officially Sony's most massive release ever on the platform, nearly tripling the numbers of Ghost of Tsushima. Splendid music, gameplay, a good story, and passion for the plot is all you hear. But now that all that has been said and done, it's time to discuss the future in Stellar Blade 2 and how the first game already gives subtle touches of the deeper story brewing underneath, that if you pay deep, close attention to, you would know that there will undoubtedly be a sequel. What purpose Ibris may have, Raven's return, but not the way most people expected, Eve becoming the new Mother Sphere, and two other interesting points you don't want to miss. So let's hop right into it. First and foremost, you gotta talk about Raven's return, but let's just go over who she is. Essentially, Raven, like Eve, is a member of the airborne squads sent by Mother Sphere to reclaim the Earth, to which along her journey she discovers the truths Mother Sphere was hiding regarding humanity, Andro Eidos, and the Naytiba in every war that has raged, which led to her initial rebellion against her, then her second rebellion against Adam as he deemed her unworthy and too far gone to unite with, which pushes her in our direction, to which we do combat with and subsequently cut both of her arms off and her body cell, meaning that she can no longer fight. At this point, we must realize that until we see someone die, whether it be in an anime or gaming, until you can confirm that someone is no longer breathing, they are alive, and thus we can begin to speculate how she would basically return. And based off what I've seen from the community, there are two ways that she could return that I've extracted. Either, first and foremost, either she would be discovered by Mother Sphere, to which she would be repaired completely and then be given updates to her body, but Mother Sphere would wipe her consciousness, and that basically leads to her being a puppet for Mother Sphere, basically. So she'll come to us, but then it'll be Raven by body, but then mentally Mother Sphere is basically in control. The other way is that she could receive some form of repairs either from Mother Sphere or some other kind of assistance and upgrades on top of that, and she becomes an additional threat during our journey through Stellar Blade 2. Now the third, and I believe the most reasonable way she could return, is starting first and foremost with an understanding of what Raven hates the most. Two things, Eve and Mother Sphere. But the one thing that she hates more than Eve is Mother Sphere. And I feel like from this understanding, the enemy of her enemy is her friend, or someone that she can tolerate. Raven and Eve would form an alliance, as Eve would need all the help that she can get in order to take Mother Sphere down. And oh yes, Eve would be the one to resurrect Raven because she needs all that assistance. The second major point, which would be Ibris. Now, if you play Stellar Blade the correct way, which involves doing a whole bunch of side quests and just being a general help in Zion, for the most, you would notice a bar that fills at the top right hand corner, and upon reaching 100%, after you get to a certain point in the game where you'll be locked out of everything until you complete the game, Lily will ask if you can actually go past Eidos 9, which at that point you'll be able to visit her atelier and see her best friend Ibris, who was regarded as the greatest hacker in the colony, but unfortunately is unconscious due to a damaged body cell. Now if you listen to that again, the greatest hacker in the colony, we can speculate that Ibris may be the key to everything, as I've shown in the thumbnail, as through her skill, if she awakens in Stellar Blade 2, could be Eve's greatest asset, in that Mother Sphere could potentially be hacked and possibly be rebooted or even wiped some way, somehow. Alright, third, let's talk about Eve. Now, we need to take into consideration where she is right now as the ultimate human Andro Eidos hybrid. Now, we're going to hop straight to the ending of Stellar Blade 2, where like the first game, we may be given a choice of multiple endings based on what we have done in that game, like the first game. And I have come up with two endings that could occur, both ending in her becoming Mother Sphere either for better or for worse. Let's start with the first, for the worst, and that is based on certain activities not being done. We could get an ending where Mother Sphere was not completely hacked by Ibris, and maybe something needs to be fixed that would require Eve to absorb Mother Sphere's potential, or AI, to which she would then, like a virus taking over a computer, lose herself completely to Mother Sphere, subsequently killing Ibris, Lily, and everyone who rebels against her. And based off of that, the fact that she's now the culmination of human, Andro Eidos, and most powerful AI, she would use these to create better Andro Eidos beings and other things to cement her rule over all. Yeah, the second more positive ending, whereby one would have done enough side content in Stellar Blade 2, meaning that Ibris would successfully hack Mother Sphere completely, leading to Eve fixing whatever that she needs to fix with Mother Sphere's potential, then basically becoming the closest thing to a god and using that potential to create more human Andro Eidos beings, which would further fulfill Adam's wish for peace amongst the two. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Mother Sphere. Now, there's a YouTuber whose name I'm forgetting who laid the foundation for this speculation, but essentially, there is a common thing Mother Sphere does in the game, and I believe it is done at a purpose. She first sent the 7 airborne squads to Earth instead of 1 and get it over and done with. Then the next time she does it is the final battle against Eve at the end of the first game, and I believe the previous airborne squads were sent to Earth one after another to learn. So the 7th airborne squad or any airborne squad that came after will be able to better succeed. The second time is when Eve fought off an army, and I believe she didn't just send all those angels by coincidence. She didn't just send them for, absolutely no reason. I believe the reason why she did it is because she's trying to develop an Android ADOS or a selection of Android ADOS soldiers that will be able to resist Eve in the second game. But I think it'll be a really cool idea if Mother Sphere can actually develop an anti-Eve, which is an evil version of Eve with all of our skills in combat on steroids, which would add to the variety of bosses in Stellar Blade 2. So, it's kind of a really good idea, basically having Eve fight, as an near exact replica version of herself. And I think it would add to the story in the sense that once Eve defeats that Android ADOS, it would leave Mother Sphere puzzled as what is this thing that's so unique about Eve that makes her defeat an identical copy of her combat skills and everything. Like, how is she thinking? And that would make her unique, and then would lead into the earlier points that I've mentioned in the video where maybe she may want to take Eve's body or something of the sort. And now let's jump into the final thing, and it's pertaining to Adam. Now honestly, this one is just cope. I really felt saddened by the loss of Adam in Stellar Blade, but I believe that some way, somehow, if Adam could return in Stellar Blade 2, genuinely helping us now, assisting us in missions and maybe in some combat, it would be a really cool thing. I feel like Adam really didn't do anything wrong, besides the fact that he's the one who created Mother Sphere, Raphael Marx, and basically everything is basically his fault. But throughout the game, I genuinely think that he was really trying to do something. He was really trying to do something well and was just training Eve to see if she would be the one who would basically take on the mantle of, helping him fix everything, you understand? And besides that, I've just fallen in love with the Stellar Blade family, and that goes for Lily, Adam, Eve, Taki, heck, even Raven, and everybody else in Zion, man. I've grown attached to these characters. So to lose Adam, and plus the fact that the banter between Adam and Lily is something that I really didn't want to lose, really like to see that come back. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of my speculation. If you've got anything that you'd like to add in the comment section, make sure that you do hit that like button. Definitely click that subscribe button if you want to see more Stellar Blade content. I will be releasing more videos in the future. Subscribe, like, add anything in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, Skywalkers.